What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about the Toyota RAV4 and the Toyota Venza. We're going to find out which one's better for you. So to answer the question, which one of these vehicles is best for you, really just depends on what you're doing with it. So there's not really one that's better than the other one. So it mostly comes down to, like I said, what you're doing with it. Take a walk over here to the RAV4 real quick. So both of these, this is the RAV4 XLE hybrid, and that is the Venza LE, and all the Venzas are hybrid. So we're comparing similar powertrains. As far as options go, they're pretty similar. The Venza, that's kind of more the direction that was designed to go, is more the luxury side. So the base model comes with a few more options. Anyway, so we'll come over here to the RAV4. So the Venza and the RAV4 are essentially the same car. They are the same width exactly. So they're, I believe, 73 inches wide. And then the RAV4 is designed more to be more toward like cargo space and like adventuring type stuff. So if you're going to be putting a lot of stuff in the car, if you're loading it up, you go camping, go to the lake, whatever you're doing, the RAV4 is designed a little bit more toward that. The Venza overall is just designed to be just a little fancier. It's kind of like for those customers that want the RAV4 size vehicle, as far as like how easy it is to get around town, how easy they are to drive, the gas mileage, but they want like the Highlander interior. So it's just got a nicer interior. It's just a little bit sleeker. It looks almost like a Lexus. So it's just supposed to be a little bit fancier model. Let's talk about numbers real quick. So the RAV4, like I said before, you're 73 inches wide. The Venza is also 73 inches wide. The RAV4 is 180.9 inches long. The Venza is 186.6 inches long. So the Venza is just a little bit longer than the RAV4. And for the height, you're about 67 inches tall on the RAV4, and then you're about just short of 66 inches tall on the Venza. That is to the top of the antenna, right in the back somewhere right there. But the main difference is the Venza slopes down in the back right here. So that's where most of your cargo space is. The roof slopes down, where on the RAV4, it's a little more boxy right there. So it's got that higher roof line right there, comes over, and then more straight down. So then for the cargo numbers, you're about 69.8 cubic feet behind the front seat. So from there back, and then you're 35.5, I believe, cubic feet behind the second row. So just this area on the RAV4. And on the Venza, for cargo space, you're 55.8 cubic feet behind the second row. Sorry, behind the first row. So there to there, and then 28.8 behind the second row. So that's the big difference between the two. So you got a lot less cargo space in the Venza. We'll take a look in the back of these, show you a little bit. We'll start off with the Venza. That's the cargo area open. So you can see the cargo, the bottom of the cargo area lines up about with like my hip. I'm like 5'10", so it's a little bit high, which is kind of cool if you don't want to like drop stuff down into the cargo area. And then the seats, I can touch those from the back here without really reaching too far. And then the top of the cargo area is not that far here. So your roof's pretty low, and then the floor is pretty high. So that kind of makes for the smaller cargo area. Come over here to the RAV4. It's a much bigger cargo area. So I said before on the Venza, it comes about to my hip. This one comes just a little bit above my knee, right there. So a lot lower there, and then quite a bit higher here on the top of the cargo, on the roof anyway. And then the seats, this is about where I was reaching to on the Venza. I have to actually lean into the car. This one's normal setting on the seat, this one's reclined, but you can see they're a lot bigger on the RAV4, a lot more cargo space, quite a bit wider too. And then on both of these cars, the seats lay down, they lay flat, so that's what I was talking about, cargo space behind the first row. So that's kind of the main difference between the two. So we're gonna go for a drive real quick on in the RAV4. As far as power goes, they're gonna be the same. I mean, the Venza and the RAV4 share powertrain, at least in the hybrid anyway. This is the one I'm driving, it's the hybrid. So these two are gonna drive, as far as acceleration and power goes, they're gonna be roughly the same. We're just gonna pay attention to like road noise and handling, I guess. Where the Venza is supposed to be more of a luxury vehicle, I would assume it should be quieter. So we're gonna jump on the freeway and we're gonna go for a drive and see how it does. So we're getting on the freeway now. We've got the air off, the AC, so there's not any more noise than normal. We're just gonna take a listen to how it drives on the freeway, what it sounds like. So we're doing about 43 right now, getting on the on-ramp. We'll get up to speed here in just a second. Merge onto the road. So we're at about 72 miles an hour right now. Still kind of merging onto the road here. So this is about what the road feels like, or what the highway sounds like. Just gonna get my phone to quit falling. So this is the highway noise. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Microphone. It's not quiet. It's not necessarily loud either. You could have a conversation in here with your friends or whoever you're with and not have to yell. You don't really have to speak up at all. It's pretty decent. So I would say it's pretty average for road noise. I mean, I've ridden in like kind of the base model Mercedes, and they're at least as loud as this. So it's probably, I'd say, a baseline of what I would expect for road noise. Pretty decent. It's not overwhelming. It's bearable. Another thing I keep forgetting to mention is gas mileage. If you're getting the hybrid on the RAV4, and then like I said, the Venza, all of those are hybrids, so you're gonna get a hybrid if you get a Venza. The gas mileage is more or less the same. I don't know if it's because of aerodynamics or weight or what the deal is. The fuel mileage is not the same, even though it's the same powertrain. The Venza gets 1 mile per gallon less. So when you're getting 38 to 40 miles per gallon, 1 mile per gallon really doesn't matter. But I mean, anyway, so as far as fuel mileage, it really doesn't make a difference. They are 1 mile per gallon less on the Venza, but so we're gonna go for a drive in the Venza now. First thing I notice when I get in here is the hood's really bubbly. Kind of in your face a little bit. And I feel like the windshield is right on top of me. I don't feel like the visibility is quite as good because the windows are slanted down back there. But we're gonna go drive it. See if it's quieter or louder or better or the same. We're getting on the freeway again. Can't see out of my mirror because I didn't adjust it. So far, it seems is 82 miles an hour like the other one was. And I don't really feel like I have to speak up anymore. I just feel like I can feel the wind a little bit, or I can hear the wind a little bit more. And there's a little bit of like a drone from the road, so that could be tires or wheel size or something. But it's at least the same, if not louder. Still rides decent, it just is a little bit rougher than the other one. The interior is definitely nicer on this car. I can see the premium feel it's supposed to have. It looks really nice, and this is the base model. This is the LE, so like the LE RAV4 dang near has roll-up windows. Like it just is pretty basic. And this is, I mean, it has wireless phone charging and dual climate control and the bigger screen. This has a bigger screen than the XLE RAV4. It's got power folding mirrors, blind spot monitors, so it's nice. And it's got some stuff on it, but it's just a little louder, it seems like. And I've had customers tell me that it's louder before. I always thought that was kind of weird. I've never really done the side-by-side comparison until today. But you can see interior's a little nicer. It's got like these diamond looking overhead door lights. It's a little bit nicer looking in here, but it does seem a little louder. Still good. I mean, it's not so loud that you'd be like ripping your hair out if you had to ride in here for longer than 30 minutes, but I mean, like I said, overall it's still a nice car, rides good, just a little louder than the RAV4. So some pros for the RAV4: you've got more cargo space, you actually have a little bit more ground clearance. I didn't talk about that before. The RAV4 has, all the hybrids have 8.1 inches of ground clearance. All the Venzas have 7.65, I think, inches of ground clearance. So like a half an inch more on the RAV4. The RAV4 can be a little bit less expensive because it's not supposed to be the luxury model, so it comes more basic, so it can fit into a lower price range. So a couple pros for that. The Venza, I think it's a little bit prettier. It is only a hybrid, so if you find a Venza, it's going to be a hybrid. You're going to get great gas mileage, so that's a pro for the Venza. And you have more options available to you in the Venza, so those are kind of the pros to the Venza. You can also get, like I said, it seems like it's geared more toward the customers that want the premium interior. So you can get the 12.1 inch screen like the Highlander has in the Venza, and you cannot get that in the RAV4. So, like I said, it's definitely more premium feeling inside. So, that's kind of the overview, basic summary of it. There's my review of the RAV4 and the Venza. To answer the question, which one's best for you, it really just depends on what you're doing, like I said in the beginning. If you're putting a bunch of stuff in it, if you're going to the lake, if you're going camping, if you need that extra cargo space, the RAV4 is the one for you. If you want something that's a little bit more sleek and like luxurious, if you like that premium interior, if you like the interior of the Highlander but you don't want that big of a car, the Venza is your car. So there you go. Like I said, it just depends on what you're doing with it. So there's a review, and I got more coming out. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to catch my upcoming videos. I'm probably going to do one on the new Tundra when I get one, and I'm going to do the Corolla Cross. If there's any other cars you guys want to see, just let me know and I'll make a video of them. Thanks.